Chapter 3 Review Rational Functions. Good luck with your studying. To solve this equation, I'm going to clear the fraction by multiplying both sides by this particular denominator. So when I multiply this, rewriting it, I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to multiply both sides by x squared plus 6x minus 24 in red. I'm going to continue by looking at the left side, and I can see that this x squared plus 6x minus 24 divided by this x squared plus 6x minus 24 gives me just 1. So that divided by that is 1. So I'm left with 3 on the left side, and on the right side I have x squared plus 6x minus 24. Rearranging so that I can find x, I'm going to make it so I can look at the quadratic and maybe factor, hopefully. So 0 equals x squared plus 6x minus 24, bring the 3 over, so minus 27. I'll need two numbers that add to 6 and multiply to negative 27. So I believe that would be x plus 9, x minus 3. Therefore, my answers for x, my possible answers are x equals negative 9 and x equals 3. I've already completed number 12, so I'm going to go through with an arrow. So I have 4x over x plus 2 and 5x over 3x plus 1. I'm going to multiply both sides by those. So when I multiply by both of those on both sides, I end up with 4x times 3x plus 1 on the left side and 5x times x plus 2 on the right. Another way you might think about that is as if we had cross-multiplied 4x times 3x plus 1 and 5x times x plus 2. So that's another way to think about it. Expanding that, I get to 12x squared plus 4x equals 5x squared plus 10x. Rearranging it, I end up with these two values for x. So x could possibly be 0 and x could possibly be 6/7. The question actually said to use technology. When it said that, it wants you to graph this equation, or sorry, this function, graph this function, and find out where they cross. And you'll still get these 2 points. That's where they cross. Good luck. By factoring the top and the bottom, I'm going to be able to find out some critical points, the X-Intercepts and the Asymptotes. So I'd like to go ahead and factor both the top and bottom. So I factored the top and the bottom, so I'm going to list the critical points, or the key points. The X-Intercepts will be 5 and negative 4. The vertical asymptotes will be x equals 6 and x equals negative 2. I'm going to now use an interval table to manage what's going on between these intervals and find out where it is positive, so where it's greater than 0. So listing all the critical points from negative infinity to infinity in the proper order, my most negative one is negative 4, and then negative 2, and then 5, and then 6. So I'm going to test every interval in between. When I'm testing, I'm checking some value between, for instance, negative infinity and negative 4. So let's say negative 5. Use a different color. So let's say I'm testing negative 5, and it could be any number, negative 10, negative 5. So what I'm going to get here is a negative. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative. Negative 5 minus 6 is negative. And negative 5 plus 2 is negative as well. And 4 negatives make a positive down here. Doing the same thing between negative 4 and negative 2, so it doesn't give me a lot of choice. I'll use negative 3. Negative 3 subtract 5 is negative. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive. Negative 3 minus 6 is negative. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative. 3 negatives, 1 positive makes a negative. I'm going to continue and go ahead and do the rest. Continue doing the rest, and now I'm going to go back and check what I was asked to find. I want to find out where it's greater than 0. So I'm going to be using this interval, and this interval. Writing up my intervals, I'm going to use round brackets because it doesn't include the actual values. So this one would be negative infinity to negative 4. This one would be negative 2 to 5. And this one would be 6 to positive infinity. And we're just going to put unions in between those little u's. There you go. Thank you.